Welcome back to the Gdańsk Shipyards. And in this, the fourth and final episode of our little series, we're going to be dropping in at a few places that are especially useful for people visiting here in the wintertime. So at the end of the last episode, we finished up here at the top of the Imperial Shipyard route. And right now we're going to just go around the corner and see a novel little piece of solidarity history. Behind me is Bar 80. It's a ship workers' lunch bar and it's been in operation for many decades. It might not look like much from the outside, but on the inside, it's basically a snapshot of 1980s PRL Poland. I think they've maintained that decor to keep pulling tourists. But that being said, it's a cheap place to get a meal, have a drink. So if you're a budget traveler, this place is something to remember. Now we're going to head away from Bar 80, turn the corner and go up a bit and check out one of the shipyard's other cultural institutions. Heading up this way, a number of you will recognise Ulica Elektrykov from our second episode on this side. If you look directly across that way, across the main road, you'll see the building that we are heading to right now. And to get there from the Elektrykov side, we need to go down under the underpass and around the corner, and you'll be there. Behind me is Nomus, the new art museum of Gdańsk. During communism, shipyard workers were provided with a lot of infrastructure for themselves and their families. Community centres, shops, cinemas, and other things. Nomus is actually located in what used to be a school workshop building, of all things. And now it's been renovated and readapted with a cafe and a workspace downstairs and the gallery space up top. From inside the gallery and also just behind me here, you can see a lot of these old apartment buildings which housed shipyard workers and their families, and probably still does today. And if you're in the shipyards in the middle of winter, well, why not take advantage of a place like this? It's nice and warm inside. Now we're going to head down that way, back towards the European Solidarity Centre. Heading back over Plac Solidarności, or Solidarity Square, we can see the historic number 2 gate on the left here. And if you look directly across from gate number 2, we have Wydział Remontowy. Wydział Remontowy translates as the renovation department, and now it has been renovated, repurposed as a bar. Very good bar, mind you, especially if you're into rock music and metal. Anything with guitars, basically. If that's your kind of thing and you're visiting Gdańsk, this place is a must visit. Now heading down the road a bit from the shipyard area and just down around the corner, we're going to check out a little bit of World War II history. Now you may recall in our previous episode that I mentioned that German U-boats were produced in Gdańsk during World War II. Well, this is where it took place. This is Montownia, the U-boat assembly hall. And now it's been repurposed into a bunch of apartments on these 3 levels. And down here, for regular people like you and I, it's a food hall. Food hall Montownia. Let's go in and take a look. So as for the original parts of Montownia, we have the crane operator's cabin that's still on the rails up the top. If you look on the floor in the very middle, we have the tracks that would bring in the vessels during production. The lights are not original, nevertheless they've been selected very well. And of course all the concrete structures and the metal railings up top, all original. My personal favourite fixture of Montownia are the tentacles above the bar, which may or may not relate to a certain sponsor of rum that they have. As for the gastronomic offer, we have Greek, Ukrainian, sushi, seafood. We have Asian, a few forms of Asian, Indian, Mexican. We even have Georgian cuisine, which is cool. Some other things with cheese and wine. And pasta pizza bar in here. Montownia has a really decent little program of events happening throughout the year. For example, today we have Festival de Muerto, Festival of the Dead, which is bringing a little bit of Mexican flavour to Gdańsk. If I'm not mistaken, I think there'll be a mariachi band playing later, which is kind of cool. Also, they're about to do a piñata. Is that a redback spider? That's a redback spider. Okay. And so, my friends, that concludes our little series on the Gdańsk Shipyards. If you are indeed planning on visiting Gdańsk in wintertime, or any other time of the year for that matter, you can grab a copy of our premium city guide from Poland in your pocket. All you need to do is head to the link. Do zobaczenia.